cyanuflower is on the ends, representing the flames. Yo, the one here for the Honorable Priest Isaac. Some boy if you know this. Hear me now. Antigua are the place where Priest Isaac dwell. Ancient Israel, ancient story fit tell. Yes, yes. Up a Lalibela where the monk them a dwell. With them mescal them a broke evil spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. His foundations in the whole of mountain. Priest Isaac on the whole of mountain. Him black a reverence on the whole of mountain. Him chant a psalm on the whole of mountain. But never hesitate for yell the king. I Tega, I Zaro, Einin. So proud yes to be an offspring. Mystic vibration of the people them a sing. Angel, mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where him dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Trot on the banks of the gully. Isaac trod it through the hills and the valley. Trod it through the town, through the bloody city. Highly, 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 always with we. Highly, 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 I'll protect we. Highly, 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 I would never leave we.
Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah God.
Genetically modified organisms, GMOs, pose unparalleled threats. Nothing like them has ever existed in the entire course of life on this planet.
We definitely do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Kadamawa Haile Selassie I. I would like to welcome you now into the shock of the hour. This is the part of the program, the mystic vibration, where we go to the other levels. Of course, when we go into the different realms, and tonight we're going to be going into GMOs, talking about genetically modified organism, definitely genetically modified poisons. Of course, give thanks for your presence with us, and just ensuring everyone that everything is well blessed. Of course, the storm itself, according to the reports now, has gone into the Caribbean Sea, and it did give Dominica another touch-up again. Dominica is one of those islands that felt the blow of Hurricane Maria the previous year. So, it was under a state of emergency, and now it got a touch of Isaac. So, as I said, it has now gone into the Caribbean Sea. Well, we do give thanks again for the life giver in all doings and saying. And I was reading a comment there on the video that I did concerning Hurricane Isaac and its coming. And somebody, because if you listen to that video, I went into depths when it comes to differentiating between, storms that are created by HARP and other agencies and storms that are just natural occurrences. Some of us are now we have been elevated so high in the conspiracy theory club that we feel every raindrop was made by HARP. I mean, this is something else. So someone was saying this storm was made by man. It was man-made, and I agree. It was man-made, and the man that made it was Marcus Garvey. Holy Emmanuel I. Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. But yes, genetically modified organisms, though. This is where we want to go into this evening. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to begin with what you were listening to there was just a clip from a documentary entitled Ticking Time Bomb. But what I want to do is to just give you a short clip entitled 10 Genetically Modified Food Facts, taken from WM News. And this is their 27th episode. And they're not necessarily going against GMO at all. In fact, they are encouraging it. They're advocates for genetically modified organisms. But they'll be just basically giving you the facts of, behind GMO. It's not necessarily propaganda, it's actually facts. And when you listen to the facts, and when you understand that this is a promotional, to some degree, documentary here, it shows you how numb we are in the way we think. And if you don't get what I'm saying, well, let's just go with the flow, and as we move, you will understand me correctly. Remember, once again, the shock of the hour. Give thanks for your presence with us. And this is the mystic vibration, the international flavor, the universal spice, Radio Anu. Let us go through.
After one of the largest restaurant chains in America decided to ban genetically modified organisms from its menu in 2015, the hot topic of GMOs is back on the world stage. Welcome to Watch Mojo News, the weekly series where we break down news stories that might be on your radar. In this installment, we're counting down 10 crucial facts you should know about genetically modified foods. Number 10. What are GMOs? The acronym GMO stands for Genetically Modified Organisms, whereby a microorganism, plant, or animal has been genetically altered using advanced genetic engineering techniques, such as genome editing. Humankind has been using a form of genetic modification since 12,000 BC in the form of selective breeding and the domestication of plants and animals.
Okay.
Genetic engineering techniques such...
Pardon me. Now, So basically now she's saying to us that a GMO is a microorganism or animal or plant that has been genetically altered using advanced genetic engineering techniques. And I find, of course, I'm going to check the words that have been used, that has been genetically altered. Now, as we go along, we will see exactly how the genes of these plants and animals have been altered. But altered, and to alter something is a very serious thing, Even some of us, we don't even like the word alter now when it comes to, the Nyabingi tradition, the Bingi house have its altar, and in the Bobo tradition, the priest go on the altar, and even in the church, from the pulpit or the altar, and, to be honest, the message does be altered sometimes, so it's a funny word to play with in all reality. But let's take it for what we know it is. These plants, and I can speak of plants because we're speaking of food. We can speak of animal too, but because we have a plant-based livity or a plant-based diet, as it is referred to as, we can identify plants now. And what we're seeing here is that the genetically modified plants are plants that have been genetically altered using advanced genetic engineering techniques. Sometimes if you're not sharp and you're not listening keenly, a lot of these fancy words kind of fly over your head, cool and calm, especially if the speaker is very smooth. Oh yeah. Yeah, altered and genetically may not be fancy to some, but to some it sounds like a song. Yeah. But what's the meat of what's been said there? Do we understand what you have done when you genetically alter? Not just modify now, alter. When you alter something, you genetically alter a sheep. You genetically alter a chicken. Even if you genetically alter the cabbage and the corn, which you may consider food for you. It may be food. It may be good food in its natural state. But when you alter the genes, what has happened? Hold on. Let us continue. Let's listen good. There's some good information here.
Been genetically altered using advanced genetic engineering techniques, such as genome editing. Humankind has been using a form of genetic modification since 12,000 BC in the form of selective breeding and the domestication of plants and animals.
And that's a bit different since she's gone into some historical data there now. 12,000 BCE, 14,000 years ago. Selective breeding, etc. is slightly different than what is being done today. And in fact, this very mini documentary news report is going to give a little more detail in exactly how it's done today. Let's continue to flow.
By cultivating organisms with certain desired traits, generation after generation of farmers was able to breed selectively superior products. Furthermore, in the 20th century, scientists started using bacteria or microscopic gold particles to insert new genetic material into foods.
So in the 20th century, they started using bacteria or microscopic gold particles to insert new genetic material into foods. Microscopic gold particles to insert new genetic material into foods. So she clearly admits that although 12,000 years ago there was something going on, because we graft food, when we graft, you take the branch and we clone food. We can do all of this. It can be done. Well, we all know it can be done, but I mean, as an ancient people, we had all of this as far as, the technique was there. The technique was there specifically, I should say. Even the way they do it today, I mean, if we wanted to, we would, but there's a certain boundary line that you don't cross. You know, you have certain standards that you must keep. You do not play with nature to the point wherein you alter nature. You know? So now we have different forms of ways to insert new genetic material into food, microscopic gold particles and other ways. Let's just follow the flow here.
The Flavor Saver, a genetically modified tomato, was the first genetically modified food item approved for humans to eat.
Okay.
Given a license from the United States Food and Drug Administration in 1994, the tomato was more resistant to rotting and ripened slowly. Its production eventually ceased in 1997, with research revealing that the public's opinion towards genetically engineered crops changed during the years.
So maybe there was a level of concern, I don't know. And I remember a few decades ago, this elder that has passed on, I remember him saying at a meeting that we were having, he was saying that the tomatoes that are being brought out today, they mix them with fish genes. Yeah, and I remember at the time I was like, what? This is like 20 something years ago. I was like, fish in tomato? What are you talking about? You know, and of course coming to, that's what she's talking about here, the flavor saver. Coming to realize now in this time now, of course, picking up my studies and going into the information for myself, seeing that it's reality. Tomatoes and corn and soy and almost everything. Once you're going into these supermarkets, brother, you could be eating as you know, as healthy as you think you can. And you're buying the broccoli and you're buying the carrots and the cauliflower and the lettuce and the cabbage and the kiwi and the pineapples and your celery and your strawberries and your avocados, and you can throw it all in, even your coconuts, all in, and your basket looks like a rainbow. Yet still everything in there has been genetically modified. So not to even think about when you start to go to the shelf now and take the thing out the cereal in the box and the milk in the box. Oh no, this is almond milk. As I said, the milk in the box, and this is natural cereal. Cereal in the box, the flour in the bag. Yeah, almost everything is genetically modified. Because we go to the supermarket and we love us some strawberries. Wow, these strawberries are expensive. You think these are expensive? What about the ones in the organic section? Huh? There's an organic section, yeah. It's triple the price. Oh, so what are these? If those are organic, what are these? And they're already so expensive. And the blueberries and all of the stuff, and the blackberries and the red raspberries, but yet still there's an organic section in the same supermarket market. Even when you go to the regular market now, you got to be so careful, because these were all locally grown. Okay, but where did they get the seed from? Then you start to call the Monsantos and the DuPonts, and okay, there we go. You got to keep in mind, that some of the corn themselves, I think it's the corn they call the BT ready corn. We're talking about a corn that is labeled as an insecticide. A corn that is labeled as an insecticide. So when the beetle goes on the corn and it bites the corn, it drops down dead at the root of the corn. So when you take this corn home now and you boil it, yes, you boil it and whatever you do to it and you eat it, but it must have some effect on you. It's a labeled insecticide, an official insecticide. Let us put it that way. Okay. So if you were to eat this very same corn, you may not fall to the ground like the bug, but I'm sure if you were to eat that corn every day for 3 years consistently, something seriously would happen to you in about 3 years time, because it's an insecticide. Yeah. So that's how real it is. So this is this is what you call real genetical warfare too. Not just biological, down to the genes, because when you play with the genes of the food, you play with the genes of the eater. Let us continue the flow here.
Number 9. How were GMOs created? The dawn of the genetically modified organism followed the creation of the first recombinant DNA molecules by American biochemist Paul Berg in 1972. Recombinant DNA is created by combining one piece of DNA with another.
Okay, hold on. No, let her continue.
Creating a modified sequence that would not otherwise occur in nature.
Okay, stop right there. All right, so let's get this straight. So she's giving you a little history where it all began, and Paul Berg in 1972. So it's basically modern day, real modern day, 1972. The American biochemist Paul Berg, he was the one that really created the recombinant, as it's called, DNA. And okay, but so how is this done? You know, we're talking about splicing now, you know. But listen, what is catching here is that what you take one piece of the DNA and combine it with another piece of the DNA, and what you do, you actually created a modified sequence. Understand? But here the punchline: that would not otherwise occur in nature. That is the knockout punch there. So remember earlier we were lamenting on genetically altering or altered, whatever it was we were dealing with. Past, present, or future tense, it's still going on. So they're altering, or they've altered the genetical makeup of the plant or the animal. Okay, so you've got an idea, but let us be clear now, or give it more clarity, I should say here. Doing this now, splicing genes and putting genes together, you're creating a modified sequence that would not otherwise occur in nature. I would say that would not occur in nature. That's not nature, because it's not natural. That's the point. And this is why now, in the other documentary, you will hear of the different diseases that would occur, especially over time, because of the genetically modified apples, bananas, and all the good, healthy, genetically modified food that we love to eat. Leaky gut. Well, in fact, the immune system in general, the GMO foods attacks the immune system. So now we try to look at this from all angles. Food preservation, you know, because the documentary you're listening to, it is very telling and very educational. But if we go through the whole of it, you will understand it's basically a promotion for GMOs. You know, what they're saying is nothing, they're not hiding anything here. We all know that is what GMO crops are. We all know that. But because, as I said at the beginning, we have been so dumbed down, believe me, we have been dumbed down. You can show us anything in front of our face. Remember the video we just put up with 9/11? Someone was sending me something. They're trying to prove that a plane ran into the Pentagon. I couldn't believe it. And they're giving this report that somebody wrote and said, read it good. I couldn't believe this. This is so off. Now, just to show you, somebody actually have the nerve to try to prove that a plane ran into the Pentagon. Wow. But I should commend them, because it's obvious no plane ran into the Pentagon. But then at the same time, the vast majority of the people that know that have not changed their life at all to adjust it to the reality that no plane run into the Pentagon. They're still the same people. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just using the plane run into the Pentagon as a little analogy, you know. So you know, wow, you mean a plane never really ran into the Pentagon? And that doesn't change your life at all? Your son and your daughter still in Iraq and Afghanistan and wherever else fighting, and you're still calling them, stay safe, baby. Stay safe, what, baby? And you know no plane ran into the Pentagon. You talking about stay safe, baby? You should be, man, turn yourself into Rambo and get over there and pull them out. It can be done. It can be done. There are people that leave Trinidad, according to their news, and find themselves in Syria fighting war against the Western nations that are trying to destabilize the country. So if they can do that, and all over, from England and all over these places, leave and go to these countries where you can hardly get in, and fighting for what they believe. So you have a son and daughter on a battlefield fighting for a lie, to enrich the oligarchy, for a lie, and you figure that out and you still saying stay safe, you know, hope you come home soon. Yeah, I've not gone off the topic, I'm on the topic. You know why? Because we're talking about genetically modified food. So this is what I'm saying. You could watch reports, they could give you lectures, they have seminars telling you what GMO really, what it is there. And they're not lying to you. They're genetically altering the plant or the animal. They're not lying to you. They're explaining to you how they create the new DNA and how they splice the old DNA and join two DNA strands together and create a modified sequence that would not otherwise occur in nature. We hear it and we still don't hear it. That would not otherwise occur in nature. It's all right, it's still an apple. It has vitamin C, doesn't it? But it would not occur in nature, but it's still an orange, even though it doesn't have any seeds, but it's still an orange. It has vitamin, whatever it has, isn't it? Yeah, but it would not occur in nature. Listen, nature is a very detailed thing, you know? Extremely detailed. Why do you think you get leaky gut by consuming so much of the genetically modified food? And trust me, you know, this goes to the vast majority of us, you know. Almost everything that some of us dodge and get away from in the system, this is, unless you plant in everything you eat, you're almost running into this daily, my brothers and sisters. King Emmanuel don't teach us how dangerous it's going to get to eat off of a shelf. Daily, we're running into this. And even if you're planting your own stuff sometime, again, where you're getting the seed from. So I'm showing you they could tell us this and it means nothing. Your structure, my brothers and sisters, you are a natural being. So your heart and your liver, your intestines, your digestive system, the digestive tract, your whole structure was created to align with nature, was created to assimilate with the natural creation. So when you eat a natural orange, naturally you've been designed to take in that natural orange and know what to do with it. Naturally. It's just natural. That's how the physical is created. Naturally. So naturally, when you drink water, the structure knows what to do with it. So when you drink the wrong water, it's almost like a red alert when it goes into your system. Down to water, man. Water. Whether it's filtered water, tap water, river water, rain water, alkaline water, acid water, the system knows. And the system knows what it prefers. Sometimes we alter the system because we continually give the system the wrong thing, to the point that to some degree the system has bent towards what we take in. Follow me good, you know. I get into a key point. So it looks very simple to splice the gene of a fruit and a vegetable and put them together and do all kind of thing and mix one with the other. They have a thing in the supermarket they call broccoli flour. Broccoli flour, some green cauliflower, where they mix the cauliflower and the broccoli together. And if I'm not mistaken, those things already been mixed even prior to that. Where you going with that? I mean, it may look pretty and nice, but putting things in your system is a very serious thing. Feasting it's not a joke. It is not a joke. We have it as if it's just for fun now. We eat for fun. When I was a youngster, we used to keep our own chickens, fowls, roosters, right? And we used to kill the roosters regularly. And that's what we would eat, the rooster, the cock. Boil it, put some hot water on it, not boil it, boil the hot water after we kill it, you know. And we pluck the feathers out and clean inside and a heap of rituals. And that would stew down in whatever we do with that. And you could not break the bone. Listen to me good. You could not break the bone of the rooster. Man, you could take the rooster bone, the leg bone, the drumstick, and bust a coconut open. I'm not exaggerating. So what I'm saying now, today now when I got a little older, you know, and we started to buy chicken from the supermarket, them kind of chicken now, you crush that up in your mouth. Yeah, that's what it is. Crush it up in your mouth and the marrow and all them nasty things, and spit it out and give it to the pussycat under the table when you're done suck out all the nasty juice out of the bone. I mean, not nasty really, but you just not supposed to be eating it. Yeah, so, right. But what I'm just saying, you know, I'm not encouraging nobody to go eat no chicken at all, whether you raise it or raise it not. But I'm just showing you a principle, that the chicken we used to kill had a name. That means it was something we took care of. It was a natural fowl. Them things that you're buying in the super make it rather worse. The slow food restaurants, they say fast food, right? The slow you down food restaurants. Some of these chicken, they're not even real chicken. You know what I'm talking about. Some of these chickens grow without feathers. They get big in weeks. Steroids and all sorts of stuff. Why is it a chicken doesn't have feathers? It has been genetically modified so you can pass the stage of plucking it like easy work. I mean, I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, I am sure that some of the meat that these people give us to eat, let me say us, I know I ain't eating no flesh, but I'll put myself with my people. Some of the food they're giving us to eat are human beings. Oh, come on. Listen. It may sound gross, but hold on, man. Take it easy. I know it sounds gross, right? I know it sounds gross. But a lot of people die. A lot of dead bodies. We just did a whole episode dealing with organs and stealing people's organs, you know? People die, people go missing. People die. A lot of people die in war. Bodies are scattered. We have an enemy that has committed every crime that you can think of. You want to tell me, listen to me, man, you want to tell me none of these devils, not even one of them, ever thought of taking human flesh and grinding it up and selling you as salami and bologna and something else? You're going to tell me none of them demons ever think of that? Them 9/11 demons? Them Pentagon running to the Pentagon, the two lie demons? None of them that pushing the abortion agenda and vaccine agenda and turning boys into girls and girls into boys agenda. None of them, Satan, it never crossed their mind to use all of these dead bodies is enough US soldiers never come home and get no burial, missing in action, die on the battlefield. They never scrape up a truck, roll and say, hey, listen, man, we can make some money with this. Never happened. Give me a break, man. You don't know the devil then. I thought you knew what's going on. You don't know the devil. You just thinking of some spooky devil, man. There's a real Lucifer. Yeah. I feeling it, man. That's why I feeling it. And some of them characters different, devil and Lucifer and Satan. You read the Bible good, the devil and Satan I read about, You never read it, man? Yeah. I'm actually trying to be calm because I know how real the world is. Sometimes you're eating your own system. Give me a break. You have them people too nice, man. Them people selling you yourself to eat. Nobody can tell me nothing. Them people there? Give me a break. Let's just continue to listen to this. Rastafari.
Organism. Scientists use a variety of mechanisms, including mutation, insertion, or the deletion of genes within the organism. Furthermore, the process by which this can occur is by the transformation of the genetic material of the organism or by the editing of the genome by using artificially engineered nucleuses. In 1992, China became the first country to formally commercialize transgenics with the launch of a virus-resistant tobacco plant. Number 8. Who manufactures GMOs? There are 6 pesticide and GMO corporations that own and control the world's seeds, pesticides, and biotechnology industries. These big 6 are BASF, Bayer, DuPont, Dow Chemical Company, Monsanto, and Syngenta. Out of these half a dozen corporations, Monsanto became the world's largest conventional seed company in 2005. Founded in 1901 in St. Louis, Missouri by John Francis Queeny, Monsanto evolved from selling food additives like artificial sweeteners to being a leader in the evolution of agriculture and an ever-present government agency lobbyist. And with nearly $15 billion in annual revenue, Monsanto is also a leading producer of genetically modified crop seeds and herbicides. Number 7. What are GMOs in? Following the approval of the commercial growth of several genetically modified crops by the U.S. in 1996, the amount of surface area attributed to these crops has increased 100-fold.
Okay.
The most prevalent types of GM crops grown in the United States are corn, soybean, cotton, canola, papaya, sugar beets, and alfalfa. These crops are used in a variety of different ways.
Wow.
For example, cotton is used not only to yield cotton, but also cottonseed, which is used as a cooking oil in margarine, shortening, and to fry foods.
Wow.
Furthermore, according to the Center for Food Safety, 3/4 of all processed foods contain genetically modified ingredients, such as crackers, cookies, chips, etc. As of 2015, over 90% of all soybean, cotton, and corn acreage in the United States is being used to grow genetically modified crops. Number 6. What are the benefits of using GMOs?
Now listen to this.
The purpose of genetically modified organisms is to create a distinct advantage for the producer or the consumer that would otherwise not occur in nature. These advantages can appear in the form of lower prices and bigger produce advantages, such as durability and nutritional value. GMO crop growers benefit from the seeds as their crops have a higher resistance to pests, plant diseases, and herbicides, thereby allowing for a higher volume of crops. Consumers could soon profit from GMOs in a whole new way, as seed producers have begun selling products with health and taste benefits. Companies like Pioneer and Monsanto are producing soybean oils that are free of trans fats and enriched with omega-3 fatty acids. Furthermore, you will soon be able to eat apples that won't go brown and potatoes that won't bruise or go brown, as the Arctic Apple and J.R. Simplot Company's innate potatoes will soon be released on the market.
Okay, hold on. Now, you see this? This is something else. Yeah. Now, even before she went to the benefits, she touched upon before she went to the whole aspect of the benefits, she was saying pardon me, I'm losing my trend here. Where do you find GMO products? And basically it's almost in everything. That's what she was saying, from the ketchup to the cheesies and the Twinkies and the sodas and the orange juices, everything, your Sweet and Low and your Welch's and your Skippies and your McDonald's fries, your Tropicana, all of these things having GMO, each and every one of them. So even some of us that feel like we health conscious and we health wise and we just gonna buy a box of Tropicana orange juice, man. GMO. Simple as it looks. All them cooking oil, they use corn. If you notice, the space that has been allotted to GMO has increased 100-fold. 100-fold. So basically GMO is everything. I mean, it's almost in every single thing that's on the shelf. Genetically modified organisms. Even if it's just an ingredient and not the direct product, like the corn and the soybean, etc. But once, for sure, even down to your vitamins and your daily supplements, all of these, I mean, your soap and your toothpaste. But why are we making such a big deal? And you see the reason why, as I said, if you listen again, you could see that any one of us that are conscious, we would see that, wow, this is a telling little documentary. I mean, maybe you knew it before, but what I'm saying is not as if the individual, it may not sound as if they're promoting it, just because of how factual it is, that, yeah, it's in everything. It's genetically altered food, you can't find it in nature, but yet still you could hear her say, now the benefits of it, what benefits could this have? Yield more crop, seeds that are resistant to pests. Yeah, but and soon you're going to be able to eat potatoes that don't go bad. Yeah, but it was made to go bad, and apples that don't turn brown. Yeah, but so what about the diseases? And hear this, you're going too fast. That with genetically modified foods, you get more yield, and the apple will be heavier, and they could add more nutrients. You don't need no more nutrients. You need exactly what the coconut has. You don't want no extra. You're gonna put vitamin A in something that doesn't have a certain amount of vitamin A. You just almost changing it to something else. It can stay longer on the shelf. Customers can buy it cheaper, but the hospital bill will be more expensive. So that is why I was saying that we could say anything now. We are people robbed and spoiled to the point that we've been dumbed down, that we can tell us any old thing and we just take it how you give us, and that's it. We just go with the flow. If you say so, let's go with the flow. I want to take a listen here to Ticking Time Bomb before we close off this one. This is another documentary, and this is not really as friendly to the GMO as that report that we were just getting there.
The campaign of ignorance that is currently being waged by the FDA is so insidious that the FDA actively opposes the honest labeling of genetically modified foods.
Of course.
Every single independent study conducted on the impact of genetically modified food shows that it damages organs, it causes infertility, it causes immune system failure, it causes holes in the GI tract, it causes multiple organ system failure when it's eaten, it causes a variety of changes, some of which we can't even guess at, as new proteins are coded for by the altered DNA that we've never seen before. We are playing with genetic fire.
Genetic engineering is a process where scientists take genes from one species and force it into the DNA of other species.
Imagine that.
Even though there's been very little study on the health dangers, there's been sufficient evidence of harm to cause the American Academy of Environmental Medicine to say all doctors should prescribe non-GMO diets to everyone.
It is.
They say that the animal feeding studies link GMOs to reproductive problems, immune system problems, accelerated aging, organ damage, gastrointestinal distress, dysfunctional regulation of cholesterol and insulin.
Hear that? Dysfunctional regulation of cholesterol and insulin, gastrointestinal distress, organ damage, accelerated aging, immune system problems, reproductive problems.
To name a few.
These genetic systems, just in the last 5 years, have been shown of all higher plants and animals are far, far more complex than ever was believed. And so it turns out that in the splicing process, that mutations occur and can cause immune system problems. And this has been the biggest problem and has been shown a number of times.
An immune response is a reaction to something that's foreign that the body doesn't recognize and tries to push out.
Exactly.
By definition, genetically modified foods have something foreign. When genetically modified soybeans were fed to rodents, we've seen changes in the testicles changing from pink to blue, changes in the sperm cells, changes in the uterus and ovaries.
See that? So when genetically modified food was given to the rats, testicles changing from pink to blue, but I think he said red, changes in the sperm, changes in the ovaries.
In the DNA functioning of the embryo offspring, we've seen smaller babies.
See, the DNA functioning of the embryo of the offspring, smaller babies. And keep in mind, again, when we were highlighting Brother Tyrone Hayes from Berkeley University, he was the one that was doing the work for Syngenta. And in the previous documentary that we were highlighting, you noticed six companies were mentioned as the forerunners, the front runners, as it relates to GMO foods, products, seeds, etc. And Monsanto, number one, herbicides, pesticides. And of course, Tyrone Hayes was even showing that, well, listen, man, when he did the research, just like how this doctor is speaking here, when Tyrone Hayes did the research on some frogs, man, he noticed that the herbicide, the atrazine, was causing the male frogs to develop feminine, attributes in all ways, down to the biological makeup, almost as if they're growing the organs of the female frogs and acting in feminine ways and doing things, male frogs humping each other as such, Yeah, that's what the man was saying. And when he showed it to Syngenta and said, man, this product y'all have here, this is detrimental. And what makes it worse is the foods that this is going on is going to the third world countries and the poorer community in the US, which is really what I was saying, man, about those of us who just hear the truth and it flies over our head. This is a war. This ain't by no mistake. All of these rubbish food, they know who they want to kill out. They know this is ending up in the ghettos, them rubbish foods. Yeah, ending up in the so-called third world countries, these rubbish food. And don't feel if you think it's just a race thing, it's an elite thing, man. It's an elite thing. You don't believe amongst the Europeans, they have Europeans trying to kill Europeans too? Yeah, so it's a very elitist kind of warfare that is taking place here. That's the reality of it. So the frogs were turning into female frogs, just like the rats here now, being genetically affected by the genetically modified foods.
A death rate that's 5 times that compared to controls. Sterile babies, even babies with hair growing in their mouths.
Oh, wow.
And this has been done by government scientists as well as independent scientists who are at the top of their field.
American people are beginning to become more aware and wake up to the fact that their government has been corrupted by corporations and the food that they're feeding themselves has possibly serious human health risks.
The 1992 policy of the FDA claims that the agency is not aware of any information showing that GMOs are significantly different. And on the basis of that sentence, they said no testing was necessary, no labeling was necessary, and companies like Monsanto, that makes most of the genetically modified food products, they can determine if their genetically modified foods are safe.
Wow.
The most common reason why they genetically engineer crops is so that they don't die when sprayed with herbicide.
No genetically modified crop can grow unless it's attached to some kind of a pesticide. Those pesticides, more and more, are in these plants. They may have killed the weeds, they may have killed the insects, but the product is still on the plants. And if it's washed off, then it's in the water, it gets into the lakes, it gets into the oceans, it's everywhere.
And you know, as he brings that up, you know, that makes me come in here now, because just the other day they banned the Monsanto product Roundup that kills the so-called weeds. Yeah, they banned Roundup from around here in Antigua, and I think some of the other Caribbean islands have been speaking about it because of some case Roundup lost or Monsanto lost dealing with Roundup. But I mean, for years we've been telling them about the Roundup stuff and all of these different chemicals that they use in the gardens, if not on the food directly, but in the same soil. If you watch the Roundup commercials, Roundup, they're always killing dandelion, the dandelion plant. The Roundup commercial is dandelions they're licking out, talking about the killing weed. You know, that's just a subliminal way of telling you that they're fighting the natural food. The original lettuce, the dandelion, good for so many of the diseases that they have put upon us. The ailments that they created in their labs, the same dandelion can fight them off. But they're fighting the dandelion, killing the dandelion to go and grow, what do you call it? The fish tomato and all of these different things. Yeah. So Monsanto's Roundup was banned around here and other places in the Caribbean. But we've been telling them that for a long time. They don't know how it is. As one of our griots says here in Antigua, it's not what you say, it's who say it. And that's the reality. It's not what say, it's who say it. Yeah, so we've been telling them that for a while. Look how they have Roundup damaging the soil. Talking about you killing weeds and what we call weeds. You know what they call weeds around here? The stinny nettle, the cudger root, the guinea hen, the Spanish needle, the pop plant which we call the sheep potato. These are the real chlorophyll plants. Remember we did the episode on chlorophyll. And these are not genetically modified. Nobody plant them. In fact, we've been genetically modified to think that we need to run with a weed whacker every 2 weeks and cut them down. Sometimes you find a nice spot growing some nice vervine and say, wow, you pick a few, you don't want to root them up, you even maybe carry a plant home. When you come back, everything gone. Nobody steal them. Some weed whacker, some lawnmower and come through and brrr, making so much noise on the holy herbs, licking them up. The healing herbs, and the same man that licking them up talking about, boy, me have diabetes, and they killed the diabetes healer there a while ago because we are so dumb. Not disrespecting nobody to say they're dumb enough, but we as a people, yes, we have. We've been dumbed down. There's no, you can't get around that. We have been dumbed down. So we just act weird and out of nature. Talking about, we just spraying down all of the good herbs, talking about killing weeds. Every 2 weeks bringing weed whacker, making noise on the Sabbath day. Talking about you're killing grass. Where you need to pick some of these same grass and carry them home and blend them in your blender and drink them daily. And then we prefer to, after we kill all of these greens, we run to the supermarket to buy some string beans coming from Canada, or some asparagus coming from New Zealand, and some broccoli coming from California, and everything they're genetically modified. You're gonna tell me we're not slaves? Something not right, something not wrong there with us? I mean, come on. Yeah, so the ban Roundup, give thanks. But it's all in the battle. So my brothers and sisters, what I'm saying here is obvious. Especially if you notice I've not been really specifying no animals. You know, I don't encourage nobody eating no kind of animal whatsoever. Fish, octopus, snail, nothing. You know, but yet still, it's obvious that the animals that you eat today, I mean, when I was young, my great aunt and, you know, they kill a pig every Christmas and the pig had a name. They say, boy, we could kill Wilfred today, though. Yeah, the pig had a name. The pig was fed on whatever they gave the pig. Now the pig today, you see the pig in the pen, you wonder if the pig went to the gym and buff up and the cattle buff up like, you know what I mean, Mr. Universe, steroids, genetically modified animals. So as bad as the animal is for you, it got to be worse when you're eating them animals there. That's the point I'm making. But the main point is that even if you're eating holy, you don't eat no meat, you only eat grains, and you're a fruitarian, and you are a raw foodist, and you are, what else we have? We have so many different people, but yet still, where you getting the food? Who is growing the food for you? For sure, if you're going into a supermarket, which I myself do, if you're going into a supermarket, more than likely, you're coming out with some genetically modified foods. And that is why sometimes some of us, we act like if we're too righteous and say, I don't shop from these people here. Because remember, we're in slavery, eh? We're still on the plantation, so you gotta know what's going on. And I'll be clear to tell you, some of these supermarkets, super markups that I go into, it is not my choice to go into them. It's not my preference, I should say, not choice. It's not that I prefer to go into them. You know, in fact, I only go into them because what I really need, they carry it. But there's a reason why they carry it. So I use my flour. You could hardly get spelled flour sometimes, even at the health food store. You know, and you'd like to support your brother that, you know, in his own little supermarket, but he has wheat flour. You want spelt flour, and you don't want any old spelt flour. You want the quality spelt flour. Of course, you know, the descendants of the slave master who's still cashing in from slavery. They have a big, you know, supermarket that almost like a shopping mall. And within that big supermarket, you have all the variety of foods that you need to prepare a proper meal as an individual that likes to eat exquisitely, that's myself, and yet still as healthy as possible. That's myself again, you know. And the reason why when you go into these supermarkets, it's all white people you see in there. I'm telling you the truth. So some of us that too conscious out there in the street, boy, Priest Isaac, that man, them say them too dread. Talk we name Priest Isaac, and he still shop at, and they call the name of the supermarket. Boy, he's still going in that, and them supermarket. And white people own them supermarket. A pure white people shop there, but why is it that pure white people shop there? Ask yourself that question. Why is it that pure white people shop there? If you're on the road and you want a bottle of spring water, around here, you got to go to them same supermarket to buy a bottle of spring water, and you have a variety. But the regular supermarket is the regular water that we all know is where they turn on a pipe and just distill it. And you may say, well, some of these big waters do the same. I can understand what you're saying, but I mean, I myself, let me call some names. I myself have gone, you know, taking it upon myself to test the Fiji water, to test the Evans water, and even the Oasis water from around here. And the Fiji is one of the better waters that they have in the bottle, and that's just the truth. So even me, if I have to buy a bottle of water, I prefer go for the Fiji, and I didn't really want to be promoting no Fiji because I still prefer go to the spring and get my water, but I'm just showing you, you know, what's on the market, and that's from my own experiment. My own testing, when you can test even the acid and alkaline level in the water. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a reality that you have better brands. So the same strawberry I'm talking about, even in them same super markup, you have the organic section. That's where the rich go and buy their strawberry. Yeah. That's where the rich go and take up their broccoli. Their broccoli is in a different section. This is the organic section. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And they leave the regular broccoli for those Negroes who think that they're middle class. You need to understand what's going on here, you know. Because when the Negroes now come to our supermarket, they think that they're upper class. And I'm telling you, I'm going to put this to you. If you go into some of these so-called top standing supermarkets and stand up and you watch, you'd see the white people, let's talk clear, the white people coming in. Some of them have the little, the babies pulling the trolley and everything. And they go to the section where you have all the organic stuff. So they pick up the organic tofu. That's 3 times as much as the regular tofu. They pick up the organic strawberry, the organic kiwi, the organic dates. They just pick everything organic, even the organic steak, and their section of meat is organic too. You know, they have organic meat too, you know, and organic salmon and all kind of foolishness. I say, yeah, watch that. And then when most of the black people come in, some of us who want to pretend we are shopping at the big supermarket and we can buy strawberries too. But we ain't going to buy no organic strawberries. I'm telling you, we go for the cheapest strawberries. Yeah, we go for the cheaper everything else. You know, and it's still expensive too, you know, but we just want to say we're shopping here. Yeah, so this is such a serious game. Because the so-called organic stuff, more than likely, it is better for you. That's why it's designed so that they know who they want to kill, man. That's the point I'm making. They know who they want to kill, and the system has already been set in a way that, you know, yeah, you can go and buy you can go and pick up the organic strawberry, but more than likely, that's all you'll be able to pick up. Yeah, that's how they design it for us. Yeah. So we gotta grow our own strawberry, but you can't grow strawberries in certain islands. It's alright. It's alright. We are all over the world. That's what unity is about, you see? That's why I always talk about our economic unity, but people don't seem to love them subjects there. It's sad. It does hurt me. I'm telling you. You know, sometimes I go over my videos and I see the views. You know, I mean, it's almost like Chronic say, I ain't doing it for the likes, we're doing it for the love, or however the song go. You know, but to be honest, man, the attention that people pay to the subjects that matter. I mean, I don't know if it's the company that we're utilizing that's blocking the videos from the eyesight of the people, because I know they do that too. But the economic series that we did, you know, you'd expect people to tune into that and understand and say, hey, let's follow up on this series, the economic state of the black nation, and see how we can develop ourselves as a unit. No, people more like the subjects that seem to have a flair with them, and it shows that most of us, I could see we're not really serious of this unity. Because if we were unified, we wouldn't have to be worried about no genetically modified, no food. Because we could feed ourselves internationally. Man, there's so many things, brother, but time is on me here. And I give thanks for your presence, you know. May seem like a simple program, but it's a touching program to me. This one we just did a moment ago is very touching and very dear to my heart. You know what I mean? Because we all eat. You know? And none of us eating from our own, like fully from ourselves. I know some of us, a few of us, may be doing some good works in the agricultural aspect of it, but how good are you doing that you are totally feeding yourself? If you can't feed somebody else and somebody else without selling it to them, then I don't think you're feeding yourself sufficiently as yet, and unless you're just bad-minded, you understand, you know? So we got to be careful. Even all the grains that we buy, quinoa and teff and millet and we don't eat rice and all of that. Okay, that's good. But where they coming from, you know? We can do for ourselves, man. We can definitely do for ourselves. There's another program I put down talking about abortion. You know, there's certain programs I see we not really seriously checking into. We got to be a little more, I would say, aware of the reality on the ground. Philosophy and theology is good, you know, it's very good, it's important. You know the stress I put in the unseen world. But at the same time, some of us we're not even taking what we see seriously, much less what we don't see. So I think we need to work on a lot of what we see right in front of our faces every single day that we're not taking serious. If we're not dealing with this physical body properly, don't think you're going to get away with the spirit, you know, like, oh, well, I die, the spirit going to be here and there. That may be true to some degree, but you're still going to be held account for how you maintain this physical. So don't just try to get it out of the door quick. You know what I mean? This is the best time of your existence, when your physical and your spiritual are together. You know what I mean? So you're going to separate just to try to come back. Yeah, but anyway, we're going into a different realm. Give thanks, man. Watch what you eat, man. Watch what you eat for yourself. Prepare your meals for yourself. You know, that's why we have to strengthen our economic base. If you're going to still have to shop from the enemy, strengthen your economic base. So when you go to the enemy now, you just buy the same food that the enemy buying. You know what I mean? Because they're going to look at you like, yeah, buy what they're buying, drive what they're driving, live in what they live in too. Because they expect them to be the best and you to be the less, you know. No, man, step up the game. And then step out of the buying from them and establish our own. That's what the unity is all about, establishing our own. You know, in the same place they bring their expensive organic foods from, we can get it from there too. And then work to the point where we start to plant our own foods internationally. But it's all about an economic growth. Economic growth, man. Some people dodge this subject, but it's important. And if I see people dodging it too much, I'm going to dedicate time to that alone. Again. And go through that again, since we're not paying attention. But I'm going to bring it up again, because I don't think we're moving too far unless we deal with this economically. Some of us, we're not even serious about economically strengthening our own personal self. We think we are, you know, because we have a job. We think we are, but we ain't serious about no economic growth. We have some money in the bank. That's not what I'm talking about. Nah, man. No. If you can't support 5 families without a problem, something wrong. Whether you want to do it or not, but you should have the ability to. Everybody should be able to support 5 families, real families, house and household, everything that they need, everything. Just support them continually. That's a heavy thing to do, you know, man. But that's the power that you should have. Yeah, straight up. What's something wrong with that? See, just to say that, people start to shake, you know, like, wow, what we saying there? What you need all that for? What do you mean why you need all that? I just say you're supporting 5. You don't think nobody in the world need help? I supported 5 families without an itch. What's wrong with that? That's a good standard to strive for. So at least if you can do that, you obviously doing all right yourself. Because that's what wealth is for the betterment of yourself and your extended family and your people. That's not what it's all about. And liberation and redemption. That's redemption means to buy back. You know, here we're talking about freedom, redemption. Redemption means to buy back. It's money we're talking about. So all this GMO talking, and so unless we are wealthy as a people, we're wasting time. And I know we have the wealth in Africa and the wealth in the Caribbean and the oil and the bauxite. I know that. And you got to keep in mind, let's be clear. Most millionaires are made. I don't mean self-made, you know. Millionaires. And millionaires is a very broad. Millionaire today don't mean like millionaire a few decades ago. I mean, almost everybody's a millionaire now. Everybody for sure has handled, you know, millions already, even if it's in a year time. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. But you're talking about multi-millionaires now and billionaires. You see them clubs there? Them is some mystic clubs. You climbing up in that club, they watch you hard. And a lot of people, most millionaires and billionaires, were let into that club. Some of them had to sell their soul, even the musicians. You don't just walk into that club on this little blue planet here and expect to just be there sitting down like you're the top of the world. So it's a strategic thing. That's why we should walk into it as a group, man. We ain't got no multi-billionaires amongst us. Come on, don't try fool me. Why not? Then we can stop talking about GMO. We don't have to worry about nobody else and no abortion. We have our own kingdom and empire. But anyway, do give thanks. I'm just honored that I could speak with you. Hey, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And of course, it takes some real eyes to realize the real eyes that is amongst us. Holy Emmanuel eyes, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah.
Yes, I know flower this on the ends, representing the flames. Yo, the one after the honorable priest Isaac. Some boy fi know this. Hear me now. Antigua are the place where priest Isaac dwell. Ancient Israel, ancient story fi tell. Yes, yes. Up a Lalibela where the monk them a dwell. With them mescal, them a broke evil spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. His foundations in the whole mountain. Priest Isaac on the whole mountain. Him block a reverence on the whole mountain. Him chant a psalm on the whole mountain. But never hesitate for yell the king. I take a Isaro Einin. So proud yes to be an offspring. Mystic vibration of the people them a sing. Angel, mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where him dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. With Isaac is an angel. Yes, in my angel. Trot on the banks of the gully. Isaac trod it through the hills and the valley. Trod it through the town, through the bloody city. Highly, 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 always with we. Highly, 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 I protect we. Highly, highly.